Howdy, howdy, everybody. So today's a nice, relaxing day. And by relaxing, I mean doing lots of nice physical labor. Hold on, forgot my freaking cigarettes. Yeah, I spent the morning cutting grass and arranging some household fan ventilation because our AC really struggles. This heat wave is something else. And set up a pool, little 10-foot inflatable oval pool from Walmart. I just posted a little video about it. And kids are outside playing. And I think I might go lay down in that pool. I got a canopy shade over it and everything. Come back inside. And finally I found somebody that uploaded the 24 Hours of Le Mans from 2015. The one that just happened 2 weeks ago. Well, Patrick Dempsey. Done a lot of different things. Mainly known, most people know him from Grey's Anatomy these days. My wife loved Grey's Anatomy. Loves Grey's Anatomy. She's freaking addicted to it. And I think that's annoying. To me, these little crime dramas are all kind of brainwashing, giving you a false impression that the system works a lot better than it does, while also making you generally pessimistic about people. And I personally kind of resent how any constructive reference towards faith is as seldom as dealing with death, dealing with crime, dealing with hospital stuff. God's involved a lot there, and they just act like got nothing to do with it, basically. And the few times that they mention faith as it regards to these issues, it's largely to simply marginalize that line of thought, to marginalize the people who think like that. So, anyways, Patrick Dempsey comes on Le Mans just now, and I chuckle to myself because I realize my wife is mad at me because I kind of made Patrick Dempsey quit Grey's Anatomy. See, he's been developing this career as a race car driver lately, and well, he's a Christian, and he, being a good Christian, made the right choice. Stop being on Grey's Anatomy and become a full-time racing driver. Patrick Dempsey. He's in the Tudor World Challenge, which is kind of like the American Le Mans series. Good racing. Good racing. They got prototypes and GT cars together most of the time. That gets chaotic. Oh boy. So, yeah, my wife is pissed at me because I made Patrick Dempsey quit Grey's Anatomy to race full time. That's okay. She likes watching racing. Now she can have her Dempsey and eat it too. Wait, no. 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 Oh. Anyway. So, what if the baby Jesus was a car guy? I mean, I'm wearing shorts right now. This is very strange for me. I don't wear shorts very often. I'm like, Jesus Christ, my hairs are leggy. Yeah, there's like some leg underneath this hair somewhere. Yeah. Anyways, kidding. Not that bad, damn it. Fucking, I look skinny as hell on camera. Holy shit. I am skinny. 6'3", fucking rail. Anyway, 6'3 3/4. Blah, blah, blah. My wife says 6'4". I should probably go with that, but anyway. So I just wanted to kind of talk about what the hell I do with my free time. Um, and a lot of it needs to kind of lend itself to the imagination because a lot of what I do lend itself to my imagination. Um, see, my favorite kind of car is a Honda, and I adamantly recommend Hondas for everyone who doesn't need a work truck. Yeah. Um, the reason why is because part for part, Hondas are built with better quality overall than any other car for the price. You will pay more of the profit margin and less for the car when you buy from other car companies. Honda has what's called a Shintoist business model. It's a corporate model, but is a model based on responsibility first, and that's responsibility to the customer and to the environment. Honda has been groundbreaking in this regard. And, you know, getting back to my wife liking Grey's Anatomy, see, for about 400 years, I remember kind of observing this whole industrial revolution and the gradual enslavement of nature itself. And this has resulted in Mother Nature's incarnation being rather cursed and limited. And I knew all this was going to happen before we both came into this world. But long story short, polluting the environment and just destruction of nature is horrible, and it has had its effects on my wife. I'm, you know, therefore kind of pissed about that. And because Honda gives a shit, I like them. And they're not just like, oh, the government tells us to give a shit, so we're going to give a shit. No, they met emission standards before the standards were even out consistently over the past 40 years of their history. Okay. See, Honda got started by a guy who first wanted to make pistons. Okay. And fucked up big time. And being a Shintoist, he obsessed over his guilt. He obsessed over his punishment. And he made a vow from that failure, from that self loathing, that I cannot believe I just fucked up that bad kind of sense. Out of that sense, he founded Honda. And he went from making pistons to making bicycles, eventually motorcycles, mopeds, motorcycles, and then small automobiles with motorcycle engines in the front. And eventually that motorcycle technology led Honda to create consistent record-setting per displacement engine and record-setting fuel efficiency per acceleration capability. The Civic technology, controlled vortex combustion chamber, CVCC. Basically, on the intake of the motor, you have two valves, and one of them opens slightly before the other. Okay, wait, I just became a velociraptor. I don't think those are inside of Civic engines, but, you know, if you hear that kind of noise, you might want to get it checked out. Take it to Jurassic Park, have him look under the hood. Yeah. Just the obvious logical solution to these problems. Okay. So, this Civic technology, with the valves opening one before the other, caused the gas entering the combustion cylinder to swirl and thus combust very efficiently, giving it a lot of horsepower and very good fuel efficiency. Civics in the late 70s were getting 40 to 50 miles per gallon, some of them. There was, 30 to 40 in the late 70s. And by the mid 80s, there were 50 plus mile per gallon Honda Civics. There's a one called, I think it's CRX-HX that got like 90 or some shit miles per gallon, gasoline powered. Okay. And it would average 50. This thing had larger than usual wheels on it, and one of the first California legal, like ULEV, ultra low emission vehicle spec, engines. That's the second coffee burp in 2 days in a row. Sorry about coffee burping on camera. I don't edit this shit. Man. I'm wearing swimming trunks and a fucking wife beater right now, for God's sake. Yeah. Anyway. So, then Honda created something called VTEC, which allowed it to create sport enthusiast cars that did not waste gas. See, to move the valves, a motor requires something called a camshaft, and it's a long rotating cylinder with some arced notches on it. And as these things rotate, the notches, they kind of look like knuckles, they lift little levers up and down. They, go one way. Like, I can't spin my fist like that because it's, not on the Exorcist movie. Or I'm not a Megatron. Anyway. Popeye. If I was Popeye, I could do it. So the cam lifts what's called a rocker arm. Okay. And the rocker arm on the other side of it has the valve. And the valve lifts up and down. Well, Honda has 3 little rocker arms and 3 little camshafts per cylinder on each side. And this middle one is what's called VTEC. Okay, just ignore the pinky. The pinky is not there. Okay, so you have 2 notches that are regular, good old economy car camshafts. And then once you get past 5,000 or so RPMs, 57 in most of them, okay, the VTEC solenoid causes these 3 independent rocker arms to lock up. Boom. And then the next time it passes, all 3 rocker arms, the VTEC rocker arm, and the 2 that actually have the valves attached to them, lift up with the VTEC cam, thus causing the valves to open wider, and at the same time, which is effectively how a race car's cam works. So you'll be sitting there, just drive along, standard, automatic, whatever, okay? You got your foot normal, it drives like a normal car. You keep your foot in it and get them revs up before you let it shift, and you hit VTEC. So you go, and it kind of feels like an extra 4 cylinders suddenly grew under the hood. And it's cool. It's not the fastest thing in the world, because Hondas are record-breaking per displacement. That is, they have over 100 horsepower per liter, okay? But they're relatively small engines, 1.8 to 2 liters, some of them 2.2 liters now, 2.4 even. Now, Honda also makes a V6 with VTEC technology. And I used to live in an Acura Integra after Katrina. My first car was an Acura Integra. Had 2 of them. Well, no, I've had 3 of them. My third one is sitting outside, actually. 2-liter motor built into that one. It's completely custom engine. You got a CRX head, a CRV block. Okay. Well, for the longest time, I thought that if properly tuned, properly set up with a rear biased all-wheel drive suspension that a really nice Acura sedan could compete with anything out there, right? And man, if you've never driven an Acura sedan, one of the nicer luxury ones, even a small one like an Integra, they are all just really nice cars. It's Honda taken to another level of luxury. All right. Well, I've been designing in my head this race car that fit a twin turbo V6 drivetrain far back as possible, but in the front with enough room for downforce in front of it. All-wheel drive, 4 doors, and I just knew it could happen one day. And I would just sit there and fantasize about this car. And I would fantasize about how cool I could make the headlights look. And every time Honda would come out with newer headlights, I'd be updating the way the headlights would look. And then one day I seen this race car, the race car of my dreams. Literally, daydreams and night dreams. Been dreaming about this race car. And my favorite race team in my favorite race series built this car. It's the new Acura tlx-gt. And the first one that they raced, number 42. This guy, Peter Cunningham, he's the nicest guy in the world. One of the most winningest champions. It's like eight-time touring car champion. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Kind of a buddy of mine. But the lucky bastard, him and this kid named Ryan, oh, my age, kid named Ryan Eversley, who was, oh man, last year in the Civic Si, was just inventing new ways to drive in the freaking rain. Okay, so they've given him this car, all-wheel drive car, racing in the GT class, not GTS, not GTA, the GT class, against Ferraris and Lamborghinis and Aston Martins and the Mercedes freaking SLR freaking McLaren, not McLaren, the Gullwing looking, like the old school one that they made new, but they got the race cars of it now, the GT3 one. Yeah, those guys are racing against them too. And like the brand new Ferrari, Italias, Corvettes, Vipers, and a 4-door Honda. It's fucking beautiful, man. It's fucking beautiful. So, yeah, that's why I love Honda. And my love for Honda has paid off because now my favorite race car is a reality, and it's number 42. So I get to watch the meaning of life fight understeer. So, another thing I like about Honda, and I hope like somehow AdSense gives Honda commercials so y'all can click, and I recommend, like, if you're in the market for a new car, go check out Honda's having a low credit special right now at all Honda dealerships. I don't know if I hope it's not over yet, but they were basically guaranteeing a car note to anybody with about a 600 credit score or above, as long as they have a steady job. That's pretty cool. Make me want to go get a new what you call it, Insight. 18 grand, brand new, for a Honda hybrid. 21 for a Prius. 18 for a Honda. Honda handles better. Prius will flip on you. But that Honda, man, I think the Honda Insight, the little boxy guy, not the fit, the Insight, the Honda Insight has some of the smoothest suspension that I've ever driven in. And I've driven in several recent Lexus, modern, I mean, 460s, 430s, 370s. A few other, a couple 300s, but those aren't comfortable. Like a 370, you know, for the size, how shocking it is, how smooth they ride. That's how that freaking Honda inside is. It feels like somebody's just putting pillows in front of the car. And, you know, it's got as good a pep as most people would need, but it's 50 miles a gallon. Oh. Anyway, plenty of cargo space. It's very, very nice and comfortable on the inside. Anyway, moving on. But the final thing, you know, the fuel efficiency, the environmental aspect, the performance aspect, the fact that they put more quality and durability. That's why they hold their value. Hondas and Acuras hold their value better than anything else. Okay, because of the quality, the Shintoist mentality that built that car. Okay, then that also applies to the safety that they put in these cars. Honda across the board, and Acura included, have the highest overall safety ratings. Volvo's been the only one to beat them out for a few years. But overall, it's been Honda. Acura has been almost every single car they've built since the 90s was 5-star crash test rated. Even the Civics were 4 in a couple of areas and 5s in most. Okay? Not only did they meet all the required crash tests, but Honda would go and do research and invent new ways to crash things into cars, crash cars. Would do small overlap tests before they were required. Would do a thing where they just run a pickup truck right into the freaking driver's side mirror at an angle, okay, to see if that shit was survivable. And they developed what's called ACE body structure, which is taking springy sword steel, okay, and putting hardened carbon steel around it and interweaving that into kind of a roll cage beneath the unibody frame of the car. Okay, the new Civics are the safest freaking cars ever built. Okay, it might as well be an A10 Warthog with wheels on it. Okay, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? If I could buy a new car for a kid, that's the one I would buy. Brand new Honda Civic, 2012 or later, has the Ace 2 body structure. They've improved this technology, and every time they improve it, they decide which new cars are going to get it. As the cars get redesigned, they add it to it and add the improved version. And right now, most of them have Ace 2 and 3, all the brand new ones. I think it's Ace 2 is in the 2012 and on Civic. Might be Ace 3 though. It's been a while since I sold Honda, but I still want everybody I know to buy Honda. I'm getting paid for this shit. Although, you know, if Honda wants me to make a commercial for Honda, yes, Honda, I will make you commercials. I'll run Honda's whole freaking advertising scheme for them. Yeah. Although, if you see the silly shit that they come up with, kind of seems like I already do. Anyway, 42. Yeah, 42. One of my favorite numbers, by far. My favorite. Oh, man, it's a little understeery. I talk to the guys who drive them, read their Facebook posts, and correspond a little bit with them. You know, like these Facebook buddies, that kind of thing. But these freaking V6 VTEC Honda Accord motors, man, they just blast down the straightaways. Next to fucking turbocharged V8s and V10s. Just blasted down the straightaway. Gotta drop the kids off at school and pick up some groceries. Awesome. So, all hail the glorious four-banger, master of performance and efficiency. Honda, there is none better. Yes. The end. Like, subscribe, and you think I don't know shit about cars? Go see some of my little Gran Turismo videos. Better yet, I got a video of the shit that I'm working on outside. Which, oh my god. Oh. The rear subframe on that fucking Integra. Never. I'm never buying. I'm not bashing, although I should. Copart's a fucking nightmare, and I will never buy a car from Copart again. Um, Copart's where you go if you can't sell a car anywhere else. I'm not saying they don't have good shit. You might be able to get some good shit, but don't buy nothing from Copart unless you know you might have your work cut out for you. I paid way too much for this freaking shell to have to do this much work to it. I don't mind the motor. I don't mind swapping the suspension out as far as shocks and springs and stuff goes. But after doing that, because of these crappy eBay springs that were on there, car back down, see the right rear just. Oh yeah, it's gonna be fun fixing that. Got to pull the entire rear subframe off. All the control arms, the swing arm, fucking everything. So yeah. I think I'm going to need to build a bigger lift. Out of wood, of course. Drive it up on there and put the jack stands underneath. Prop that fucker up. Start tearing it apart. And hopefully by next season, I'll be able to take that car down to some NASA events and see what she does. See if we can keep up with my freaking driving style. I'm hoping. It's I guess it's the most ruthless car that I've built. Once it's finished being built. Right now, it couldn't go go around a track to save its life. I don't even think it could make it around the fucking block. Um, you know, there's no catalytic converter. The freaking fuel lines would melt, burst into flame, and then it would, it'd be just like a Ferrari. Okay, so that's all. Like, subscribe, blah blah blah. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.